Okay, we're here with Alan Richardson after the game at Old Trafford. Alan, a close one. What did you take out of that?
Apart from the result, a lot of positives still, I think. The way that we started our campaign last year was nothing like this. So I think to get incredibly close to winning the game of cricket here at Old Trafford, where they've won a lot of games of cricket over the last 2 years, they've won 10 out of their 14 games. And so, they know how to play in their conditions. It's a bit of a fortress for them, and I think we got really close. Just disappointed we didn't quite get over the line.
Where do you think it possibly went wrong, or maybe could have gone better?
I think there's a couple of things really. I think in terms of, if you look at a lot of the stats, we've matched them in a lot of things, but things like they probably outran us a little bit in terms of they scored a lot of twos out of the power play. Again, knowing how to play their conditions, probably cutting off the angles in the field a little bit better than we did. Apart from that, I think both power plays were really strong. We came out of that. It was pretty chaotic when we bowled in it, but I'd like to think we caused that as well when we batted in it. And it was just those fine margins. Difficult to say exactly what it would be, but when it comes down to a game where we lose by 7 runs, probably the guys up there are probably thinking a couple of things that they could have done slightly differently. But I was really proud of how they played today. I thought we should take a lot of positives.
To get you right back into it after their excellent power play, it was the slower bowlers that did a good job. In hindsight, might Brett have bowled a little bit more?
Possibly. I think it's really easy with the game in hindsight, always afterwards. But I thought Fateh bowled really well. Ethan Brooks obviously bowled really well. Really pleased for Fats and Tom and Jacob Duffy actually to get their first T20 wickets for the club. And I thought they handled themselves really well. We knew that by playing the balance of the side that we did, that probably one of the spinners might not bowl much, but we also knew that it gave us a lot of depth in that. So I was really pleased for those guys. I thought how we managed it out of the power play was really important, and I felt like whilst it was a really competitive total, it was one that we could have chased down.
When you did bat, nobody managed to go on to anything really big, but some bright innings to start with, particularly Kashif.
Yeah, I thought Cash did really well. By the looks of it, it was probably the time to bat was in the power play, and he took real advantage of that. I thought he played some just strong cricket shots, played really well. I thought really well supported by Brett. And then we just stumbled a little bit, didn't we, at halfway, where we lost a couple of wickets, and suddenly Gareth and Ethan are batting and they hadn't faced the ball between them, so that makes it a little bit more difficult. But I thought we kept sticking at it, and like I say, on another day we probably got over the line. Incredibly disappointing to start like that in terms of a result, but in terms of a performance, a lot's to build on, I think.
And Yorkshire at New Road on Sunday, you look ahead to that one, presumably go away and have a little think about how this went, and then maybe sticking to pretty much the same sort of plans?
Yeah, I think we've got a bit of a blueprint. Well, we have a blueprint of how we want to play our cricket and the mantra of how we want to do it, and it won't change. But obviously, when you play at different venues against different sides, there's some real subtleties to the tactics to that, and how we look about how we've got some nice options. Left out some good cricketers today, so we'll see how we go in terms of that, and we'll continue to march onwards.
And we always say it'll be nice to be at New Road with a full house perhaps on Sunday and really get the place going.
Yeah, it'd be really nice. Weather looks good, so fingers crossed we'll have plenty of support there and we can put on a real good show.
Thanks for your time as ever.
This is Mike the Plasterer. He needs a trusted supplier for his materials and tools. Mike needs Profile Store. With an easy-to-use website, you can check stock online, order it and collect it within the hour. Profile Store offer free delivery over £125 and fast overnight shipping. With over 2,000 products in stock, they're sure to have what you need. So get yourself down to the trade counter in Kidderminster today. Get the job done with profilestore.co.uk.